Where in the world? Tanaka blinked several times at seeing what had just materialized next to Darlena. On the racks and tables were a wide assortment of weapons and armors, some looking familiar, while others were almost alien. The ones that Tanaka's eyes naturally found were the military rifles that she'd been trained in. There were also some swords and spears that were popular in historical stories. Most of the armor was foreign to her. Pointing at the weapons, "What is all this for?" Tanaka asked. "In the Adventurers Guild, you'll be fighting monsters in our simulation areas. Access through what we call portals. To welcome new members, we'll provide new members with one free weapon and armor," Darlena explained. "This is also the purpose of the simulation, to get people hoping to join exposed to the biggest hurdles they'll likely encounter." Hurdles? Tanaka didn't have a good feeling as to what the robot had planned. Darlena nodded. "Your society has been mostly peaceful in the most recent generation. In addition to peace, your nation's laws hope to prevent violence from occurring between its citizens." As the robot was talking, Tanaka started to get an idea of where the simulation was going to be focusing on. The average individual doesn't have experience in these two areas. One of them, due to the obvious reason regardless of laws set up by the state. Darlena raised a hand with two fingers shown. The first being the experience of killing a living creature, and the second, being killed by a living creature. Though Tanaka was guessing what Darlena was going to say about people not having experience with violence, her mind reeled when hearing about death. "I'm guessing you're trying to imply that the simulation is going to let us experience death? How in the world is that even possible?" She couldn't help but step back from the robot, as though her body was preparing for danger and trying to decide whether to fight or run away. Shaking his head, Darlena said, "That's something I won't be able to explain. If I were to, then it may affect the results. But please, understand that this is a necessary step." Its expression changed to a somber one, like it knew what it was suggesting was unreasonable. "If you wish to back out, you're free to do so. Not everyone is meant to walk down this path." Darlena pointed at the area behind Tanaka. Tanaka looked behind her and saw the metal door that she'd walked through before starting the simulation. "If you wish to continue, please approach the racks and select one weapon and armor," Darlena said. It stood there patiently, as though either decision would be satisfactory for it. Seeing the door and knowing there was going to be something life-threatening that she'd have to deal with, there was a part of her that truly thought about leaving and not becoming an adventurer. But what were you expecting? The moment you step out of this shelter, there's no guarantee that you'll stay alive. Are you planning on just hiding inside this paradise-like existence? Where was the person who volunteered to defend her nation? Tanaka mentally criticized herself. Taking a deep breath, Tanaka turned to direct her attention at the weapons and armors presented. Not even bothering to say that she was going to participate, Tanaka simply walked over. "How long do I get to choose?" Tanaka stared at the weapons while asking the robot. "As much time as you need. There is no rush," Darlena answered. Hearing the robot's answer, Tanaka snorted. "At least I have that going for me." It didn't make the idea of facing the danger any less bearable, knowing that she could take her time. Starting at the weapons first, Tanaka looked at the numerous weapons available. There were swords, spears, daggers, pistols, rifles, and many others. Can I test them out? Tanaka looked at the robot. Darlena shook its head, sighing. That would just make it too easy, right? Tanaka grumbled. Looking at some of the weapons, a few looked alien, not just from being foreign to her, but legitimately not from the planet. She reached out a hand to touch one, but then stopped.